quick and easy. I'm also going to show you guys how I rigged my decoys for ducks and geese, all my floater decoys. So these are the decoys I got. These are the Avian X Top Flight Honker decoys. They're pretty amazing. Stay tuned, I will show you guys these and maybe do a little review. Alrighty, I'm gonna open these bad boys up and show you guys what they look like. Now, for those of you that don't know, Avian X makes amazing decoys. They are fantastic. They're a little spendy, but I feel like with how well they make their decoys, with colors and textures, they're just amazing. They're worth every single penny you spend on them. And I'm just gonna show you, open one of these up here. These decoys are amazing. I personally think they're the best looking decoys out there right now. Do you need to spend as much as I did on them? No. You can get some good decoys for, 3/4 of the price. But this is kind of what they look like. Just look at the colors and the texture in between each feather, on these decoys. And then they've got their flocked heads. They're just really amazing decoys. I only got 4 of them, but that should give me a start since I don't have any goose decoys yet, which I don't know why. I've been waterfowl hunting for so long now. Let me open the rest of these up and I'll get to starting to show you guys on how I rig them. Alright, so now coming to the rigging phase for the decoys. Goose decoy there. Like I said before, this always kind of reflects on what kind of water you're going to be hunting. I have cut myself an 8-foot strand of this decoy cord because that is what I personally like a lot, especially with the water I hunt. I usually don't hunt anything more than 8 feet deep. So set that here. You got your bungee, and then obviously a couple clamps and a weight. Now with goose decoys, you got to make sure your weight isn't too light, simply because they can blow away. I like to use 8-ounce weights. With all my duck decoys, I'll rig them with 6-ouncers, simply just because they're smaller. I'll get to rigging this here. So we're going to go on the underside of the decoy here. First, we're going to slide a clamp over one end of the cord, simply like that, through one of the holes. Sorry, not clamps, crimps. These are called crimps. So I've got one side through, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to this front hole of my decoy where the cord gets wrapped. I'm going to stick this through there, come through, slide this down a little bit, and I'm going to put this other end through the other side if it wants to fit. Alright, I'm back. So the other pair obviously broke, so I had to go get a different pair. Kind of annoying. And these crimps don't seem to want to be working for me, but try here. So back to it, we're going to slide one end in, take that, insert it into the front hole on the decoy. Bring it around. Okay. Slide that through. Now I always like to leave a little gap on my decoy from the hole to the crimp itself, simply because it gives it a little extra space for when you're unraveling the decoy, ready to throw it out in the swamp. It helps keep it from catching as much, and it's just another one of my personal preferences. So what we're going to do things suck. These aren't crimp pliers. I do recommend crimp pliers, but these work just as well. I'm going to tighten it down right down the middle. Like so here. Give it a nice squeeze. Make sure it's real tight. Now, I also like to go across with it simply because it kind of secures that seal down the middle. Because I have noticed sometimes they don't stay. So I'll go across the top there. Take that out. And if you could just give it a tug, and as long as cord doesn't slide through, you should be good. And then I'll just trim the excess off. You know, I always leave just a touch extra if it does want to pull through. Like that. And now we're going to go to the other end of the decoy cord. We're going to rig the weight. So, with the weight, you're going to do the same thing you did up top with the crimp. So next, we're going to take the weight and then the decoy cord, the bungee. We're going to slide this thicker end here, the larger hole, through the hole of the weight, like so there. And we're going to take the pointed end and then bring it over the top and through the larger hole. Pull it through. See that little lip there on it? Make sure that goes on the other side of that larger hole. Just like that. Perfect. And then next we're going to take the cord. Take one end of the cord. Grab another crimp. We're going to do the same thing we did up here. One side in first. Then you're going to take your bungee. That little pointed end has a hole through it. Slide your cord through there. Bring enough through. And back through the other end of the crimp. There we go. Take your wire cutters, or you know, if you have crimp pliers, that works better. Leave a little excess just like you did up here. Helps unwinding the decoys. Across the middle, nice and tight. Open her up, across the top, secure that seal. Test it, make sure it doesn't slide through. Looks like it's holding pretty tight there. And we're going to come down and trim the excess. Like that. Wind it around your decoy. And hook it on the bottom. That's how I rig my decoys. Alright, I just finished rigging all the decoys, all 4 of them. This Saturday is going to be waterfowl opener in the state of Minnesota. Well, the southern region, which is where I'm from. Stay tuned, there's going to be some pretty epic hunts. I did some scouting with a buddy a couple weeks ago. Opener looks fairly promising. We got the right wind. It's going to be a little hot, but there's a lot of birds in the area. Hopefully we can get some honkers, maybe. We'll see. Usually there's some in the area. stay tuned. More videos coming your way.